Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy stuff to go talk over here because it does seem like Xbox themselves are literally getting sued as of right now. This is kind of all big breaking news over here when it comes to their big deal with the FTC. Now, if you guys don't know, the FTC is basically the Federal Trade Commission, and with that, they're basically trying their best to go and stop and block the actual purchase of Activision Blizzard. Now, this is kind of a big thing to kind of note because we've seen a little bit of regulatory pushback. We've seen them want to maybe stall out the cases and kind of give it a little bit longer, to kind of deal with everything and get the information out there and discuss. But with the FTC, that's a very big American-based organization with the government itself wanting to stop this. This is pretty much going to go and, number one, put a huge damper on the potential acquisitions, but number two is going to make this a lot longer and make it a lot more dramatic. So we're going to talk about this, what's been coming out over here on Bloomberg, Washington Post, and all these other really big news articles, and we're going to talk about the FTC drama over here with the Microsoft acquisition. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 cash giveaway. Get to pick and choose. Get your bonus entries with the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We also do have the Amazon links for all the signups and the Target links and everything else. We also have special other links too. Right now, there's a bunch of good sales going on for Samsung. I'm going to be probably including those in most of our videos if you just want to check them on out. Link down below, and let's go dive into the video itself. So as we've mentioned, we're seeing all these really big news organizations. The FTC itself. Reporting on this, that basically the FTC is suing to block the Microsoft acquisition of game giant Activision. So the lawsuit marks Lina Khan's most significant effort to date to address now this tech industry consolidation, and it could also uptrend Microsoft's gaming ambitions, or upend. So the big kind of, preemptive information. A lot of these big companies such as Microsoft or Apple, etc., these really big tech giants are kind of been a little bit loosey-goosey during the bear market. But a lot of these bigger kind of companies are like, hey, we should probably have a little bit more oversight and control to make sure we're not forming these huge monopolies and ruining consumers. And that's kind of the big drama right now, what Sony, Nintendo, Apple, Google, etc. have been fighting against Microsoft because they don't want to give Microsoft too much free reign and too much free power. So the Federal Trade Commission on Thursday sued to block Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of the video game publisher Activision Blizzard, charging that the massive deal would allow the Washington tech giant to suppress its competitors in gaming. The lawsuit represents the FTC's most significant effort to rein in the consolidation in the tech industry since prominent tech critique Lina Khan became the commission's chair and was expected to usher in an era of antitrust enforcement characterized by the willingness to bring cases in court rather than pursue settlements. So a big example is that before, like I said, they're kind of like a lot of these big tech companies kind of be loosey-goosey or find them and then kind of allow things. Now, she's on the opposite side, I believe it's a she, where it's a different vibe, where they want to go and actually have these things in court. They want to discuss it. They want to make sure these are proper deals that should be going through legally. So the case signals a broader strategy at the agency to bring cases against deals that may pose these competitive threats in the future, aka Microsoft and kind of being made an example of, especially in nascent gaming markets. The lawsuit was issued the same day that the trial began in San Jose in an FTC lawsuit against Facebook parent company Meta over its acquisition of the virtual reality company Within. So the agency has argued that if the companies could be kept separate, they would push each other to develop more features and attract more users, benefiting competition in the future. Now they're trying to go have a kind of a similar thing with that, where they just want to make sure that it's not just the Xbox show, and they want to go push for the PlayStation to have innovation, the Nintendo to have innovation, Steam to have an innovation, but as well maybe for Call of Duty to also have their own potential innovation. If it's just bought out and meant to be the same thing, for the same thing that they're making right now, Call of Duty, etc., on Xbox, there's not going to be much innovation. But if they have to kind of survive, stand alone, they're going to have to make new games, have to make new iterations, have to change up the COD format and everything in between. So the FTC lawsuit against Microsoft could foil the company's ambitions to become a heavy hitter in the gaming frontiers. Activision is the owner of popular titles such as Candy Crush and Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, etc., Diablo. His acquisition could bolster Microsoft in its competition with Japanese console makers Nintendo and Sony. The commission voted Thursday on a party line vote to issue the lawsuit in administrative court, with the 3 Democrats in favor of the complaint and 1 Republican against it. Microsoft has not seen such a serious regulatory threat to its business in more than 2 decades. So basically, it's kind of like what a lot of folks have been critiquing over here, is that they're basically able to do whatever they want. able to buy whatever they want, expand however they want, and that's why like a lot of folks are trying to be like, nah, this deal's going to go through, but it kind of seems like the FTC doesn't want it to go through. So Microsoft, as I said, has not seen a lot of threat over here too when the Justice Department brought in landmark antitrust lawsuits against the company to ensnare it in years of legal battles. After that case was settled in 2002, Microsoft had largely avoided the antitrust glare, focused on tech rivals such as Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon, until the proposed Activision acquisition, because that's a $70 billion deal and one of the biggest deals of all time, at least in Microsoft's history too as well. So Microsoft's president Brad Smith signaled that the company would fight the lawsuit. They want this deal to go through no matter what, in general, saying in a statement that the company has been committed since day one to addressing these concerns. That's kind of why they keep on going and doing these things where it's like, hey, we want to work with PlayStation. Hey, we want to work with Nintendo, Steam, or whatever, because we want these games to actually go through. We want the experience to, we'll do whatever we need to. We'll make the deals happen, but just we're not a monopoly. We don't want to be a monopoly. Don't sue us, but it still ended up happening. So they say, while we believe in giving peace a chance, we have complete confidence in our case and welcome the opportunity to present our case in court. Since announcing its intentions to buy Activision in January, Microsoft has announced policies and arrangements intended to show regulators that the deal would not give an unfair advantage in the gaming market or harm workers. On Tuesday, as it was apparent the agency was nearing a decision on the deal, Microsoft announced to bring Call of Duty franchise to the Switch, which we may do a separate video on and discuss a little bit more, the arrival of Xbox. It previously had also said it would do the same exact deal and also make it available on the PlayStation 2. So the FTC moved to block the deal a day after Microsoft met with the agency representatives to discuss the lawsuit, according to a person familiar with the meeting, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss a private meeting. Smith said the company offered proposed concessions to the agency earlier on this week. Now, it's kind of a big deal because this is, like I said, government bodies trying to go and stop this. They do not want to do this. They don't want this deal to kind of go through. They're seeing issues with involving markets, employees, monopolies, and everything. But Microsoft keeps on trying to say, we're going to work with everyone the best we can to make this work. Activision makes its popular games available to 154 million monthly active users around the world on a variety of video game consoles, computers, phones, tablets, according to an FTC news release about the complaint. But the FTC alleges that if the deal were to close, that could change. Microsoft would have the ability to thwart competitors by withholding these games from competing game systems entirely, so PlayStation's issue with Call of Duty, or by manipulating the pricing too as well, so basically making, let's say Game Pass, you get a $1 per month deal, and you get to get Call of Duty, and you're basically getting Call of Duty for $1, and then PlayStation just can't compete. It's really hard to, and that's, people can kind of say what they want to. These are what the regulators are saying. The lawsuit warns that the deal could not also give Microsoft an upper hand in consoles, but as well also have an unfair advantage in the more nascent gaming, such as the subscription, PS Plus, Uplay Plus, all that type, EA Gaming, that type of stuff, et cetera, or if a place like Netflix, Google Stadia, and all of those in between. It's also based on the FTC officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss these also arguments. The FTC argues that this deal could dampen innovation as well, and that's also a big thing too, is because I keep always saying, if you can't go and afford $1 billion to invest into making a business, it's probably going to fall. And also they already have the player base, the staff, the organization, everything in between. So Microsoft's gaming business, Xbox, made $3.6 billion in the quarter ending in September. Xbox consoles trail behind both the Japanese consoles with Nintendo and Switch, but at the same time too, this has been a huge, big acquisition, plus with the Bethesda acquisition that happened, that would lead towards a lot of big competitor issues and a lot of big things that could be completely wrong. So it's just a very scary situation. It's all over the place too as well. And this also is kind of going to show that basically Microsoft wants to go and withhold content. It probably will. So Microsoft has already shown that it can and will withhold content from its gaming rivals. Holly Vendova, the FTC's Bureau of Competition director, said in a news release. Today we seek to stop Microsoft from gaining control over a leading independent game studio and use it to then harm competition in multiple dynamics and fast-growing gaming markets. as well. We're still kind of iffy on the European side. So it's kind of a big news where we don't really know where this is going. Like, the FTC is a big government body, and that's the one you don't want to have to go compete against. So it does seem like this Microsoft trial got a lot more confusing, a lot more scary for Microsoft, and at the end of the day, we're going to have to see what kind of comes up with it. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream links down below. Of course, you want it for the bonus entries and all those brand new Samsung links down below. Check those on out, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.